Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Ying, and I will be your host for tonight. Today we are very honored to have a lot of guests with us to talk about some new updates happening at the university. So I want to give you a very quick rundown of what's going to happen today. So first and foremost, the session today will be split into two parts. First, we're going to be talking about big data, and in particular, the HKU big data programs that we have launched in recent years. After that, we will be having some updates about the university and some admissions information. Towards the end of the session, there will be a Q&A, so please make sure you use the Q&A function and send us some questions, and we will try our best to get to them towards the end. Now, as we all know, topics such as big data, artificial intelligence, and metaverse have pretty much dominated news headline in recent years. As a response to that, to keep up with the global trend and also prepare students for a data-driven future, HKU has launched 5 big data-related programs last year. But what is big data, and how is that relevant to us? To answer that question, we are very honored today to have special guests joining us, including those from the industry, to give us their insight about big data. Now, let me first introduce our speakers. So on the far right, we have Professor Bennett Ying, the Director of Undergraduate Admissions and International Student Exchange at HKU. Mr. Andrew Chan, the Head of Data and Insights from Foodpanda Hong Kong. Ms. Jessica Liu, a founding member of Planto, a fintech solution provider hailing from HKU. And Dr. Tingting Fan, the Deputy Program Director of the HKU Bachelor of Science in Marketing, Analytics, and Technology. Also with us will be we'll be joined by a student, Damien, who is a first-year student at one of the big data programs, the HKU Bachelor of Arts in Humanities and Digital Technologies. They will be sharing with us some updates from the industry, the demand that we see in the market, some future development, as well as the salient features of the HKU undergraduate programs focusing on big data. With that, I would like to pass the time to Professor Bennett Ying to start us off with the panel discussion.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ying. Please allow me to say a few words before starting the discussions. As a world-class comprehensive research university with unique strength in innovation, research, talent, and international exchange, the University of Hong Kong has always been an attractive place for students with different backgrounds and also aspiration. We have also been actively engaging in continuous enhancement and refinement of our curriculum development and design. We hope to nurture talent with a global perspective for Hong Kong, mainland China, and even the world to meet the rapidly changing development worldwide. As mentioned by Ying, we especially recognize that the big data, data analytics, and digitization are major trends today and in the future. This will also be important direction for global economic development, and we believe the need for talent in related industry will only continue to grow. Therefore, HKU had announced the launching of a total of 5 big data related programs last year, encompassing the area of engineering, business, healthcare, and even culture and arts. We will also launch a first in Hong Kong and first in Asia new Bachelor of Business Administration in Accounting Data Analytics in 2023. We hope these 6 programs together will enable our students to explore the ample opportunity in big data-driven future. Again, as Ying was saying, we are very pleased to have 2 industry leaders as well as our own colleagues and our students to join our talk tonight. And maybe I'll ask Andrew and Jessica to briefly introduce their background and experience.
Okay, that's always the reason. Hi everyone, I'm Jessica. So I'm one of the founding members at Planto. So Planto is a fintech company. So we have a B2C application and we also serve banks in Hong Kong. My background, I was a graduate from HKU, actually from accounting and finance. I was in banking for a while, went into a boutique investment firm, and then started the company with a bunch of friends. So, yep, that's my story.
Cool. So this is Andrew, and I'm the head of data in Foodpanda Hong Kong. So I've been there for around a couple years, and then I've been in data industry for around 8 years. I've been in different industries, so hopefully I can answer some questions today.
Great, thank you very much. So maybe I'll start the discussion by maybe asking Andrew the first question. So earlier we were talking about like big data, data analytic, and so we want to see if you can share from your previous work or current work, or even anything you know about different industry. What kind of application do they have that are related to big data or data analytic?
Sure. I mean, talking about like application, definitely there are different things that we need to do for different teams and departments. So I would say, for example, say for marketing team, definitely we have a lot of marketing analysis, and we need a lot of analytical power, both from their team and also internally, externally, we have different data. So this is just one example. Definitely different teams like finance or like say operations, logistics, and then different kind of strategies teams. All of them actually have a lot of application in data. Talking about like different industry, I would say different industry actually having different degree of digital transformation. So they are actually in different stages, and some of them might be like kind of still in the fundamental stage that a lot of like groundwork we need to do, database setup, and the data lake that we need to build before we can use them in like different data visualizations and analysis. And then some of them are a little bit more advanced, like maybe in Foodpanda a little bit more, because it's like a tech company. Then we will focus a bit more on, like, say, automations and some more like alerts that can tell us, like, daily or weekly what kind of metrics that we need to take care in the coming weeks or months. Also, definitely there will be a lot of, like, say, machine learnings on, like, say, prediction of like orders or like staffing, etc. So a lot of different kinds of applications in different scenarios that we will need analysts in different teams and departments.
Oh, I see. Maybe I'll turn to like Jessica, because I think Andrew earlier mentioned like the example more in the marketing, maybe operations. So in your line of work, like in finance, like do you have similar or different kind of application?
Actually, because what we do at Planto, when you look at the B2C application, we touch on both marketing for our own product and also data used for personalization, for prediction and all that. So for marketing, I think it's very similar to what Foodpanda does. We try to apply data to build up lookalike models to target better in terms of, let's say, Facebook marketing. What kind of data do we need to essentially target better customer base? And in our app itself, we see actually a lot of application where we need big data. So one is the personalization part. So how do we ensure that we're giving, let's say, when we're getting transactions of a user, how do they know what this transaction means, what this transaction merchant is, what the categorization, the location. And in order to build that up, you need to have a lot of data to keep training that model to be able to show that to a user. A second application we have in our application is predicting what kind of properties you can buy or when can you actually buy a property. So it just a user basically puts in their current profile, what kind of property they're looking at, and then we give them a prediction based on n number of years, when can they actually buy this and how should they be saving towards that. So another way we've been using our data, or the data that, let's say, our clients have, is around lookalike models. So we have banking clients who use our lookalike model in combination of their own data and Planto's, they call alternative data, because we have users from our application as well, to build a more precise customer lookalike model to identify what kind of customer segmentations there are, and also what is the likeliness of a customer to essentially convert on products like loans or certain credit cards. So yeah, it's just completely like a wide various ways of application, use case, and it's definitely a very interesting and it's growing. Like the use cases, the potential, I think it's still at its early stage.
Wow, I think, thank you for sharing so many examples of like the application. Now, I want to kind of like maybe follow up a bit on what like Andrew mentioned earlier. Andrew mentioning like, I mean, company in different stages of like using data analytics, like big data and all that. And I'm wondering like, what kind of factor may be driving the differences across like company or industry in terms of how much they value data analysis and kind of like technology like that?
I would say two ways. The first one probably is about like cost. Not just about like money terms, but it could be like time cost, human resources cost. Without doing that kind of proper data analysis, then it will take them a lot of time, a lot more resources to get like similar outcome. So I can take a lot of those like automation practice that we did as an example. Before, maybe every morning you need someone to do to draft like the report or dashboard for like maybe half an hour or like an hour in order to have a report out through email by a person manually. But then if you do the automation, so basically every morning you just get in, you just drink your coffee and you're already reading the reports or dashboard through emails. So no more human touch, definitely a lot of cost
I see.
Reduction.
I see. Obviously, like from Jessica's like description, your company and using a lot of like this new technology. So particularly like any driving force, like why your company probably at the forefront of using this technology?
I think it's just because who you're targeting, because at that stage we were targeting now millennials and then now Gen Z as well. And these people, these type of user base, they're very technologically savvy. So you have to try outperform. And how do you outperform? You need to learn to understand them and then utilize the data to give them a better experience, more personalized. So that's kind of our initial drive, and fundamentally, you know, when it comes to our B2C application, it's about trying to solve a problem we have ourselves as well as we imagine ourselves as a customer, and so it just becomes a use case. Like this is our objective, and in order to achieve that, it's actually using data to achieve it, and not so much we use data for the sake of it. So I think that is the reason why kind of we were able to grow at a pretty pretty okay rate. Yes.
Okay. So this is not our necessity. It's also like competitive advantage, right? For your company, the case. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, today, like earlier, Ying also mentioned we have my colleague, like Dr. Tingting Fan here. She is the deputy program director of one of our programs, specializing in marketing analytics. I'm sure she can also like share with us like some information, right? So from your perspective, like maybe talking a little bit about our program. Now listening to our experts, like talking about the application, what they need, like are we able to provide some of those in our program or not?
Well, the answer is short. It's yes. So I'm very happy to learn from Andrew, from Jessica, that the industry really needs this skill set. And that's the reason why Hong Kong U is launching so many new programs, trying to equip our students with the hard skills which relates to data, algorithm, and also equip them with let our students to learn all those skills. So in terms of the program, the curriculum, as our understanding is on the same page as the industry. We're going to, equip our students with the hard skills. For example, the courses that they take from computer science, from engineering. So lots of our programs are interdisciplinary, which means that they take courses in different faculties, in different schools, getting to know all those technologies. And at the same time, they're also learning the very essential knowledge from business. So this is really the combination of those soft skills and the hard skills. So by the time they graduate from HKU, they're able to process the data, they're able to use the data, to answer the questions, to solve the problems in the real life.
Wow, it's great. It's great to know, like, I mean, our program is really answering, like, or kind of addressing the industry need. Now, of course, like, so far the example that we have talked about seems to be focusing a bit more on business, right? It's good that, like, we have another speaker today. We have a student, Damien. He is actually in the first year, cohort of one of our programs, even though it's also related to big data. But it's from the culture and also arts type perspective, right? Maybe, I don't know whether Damien already learn a bit about the program, and also like, so what kind of application are we talking about? I mean, in arts and culture.
Right, yeah. So I have already started doing more about a course about statistics, so like basic statistics, learning Python and that kind of stuff. But I've also taken a common core that's about archaeology, and it's quite interesting. So in that archaeology course, we have to make 3D models based off of existing data of that archaeological site, so we can actually do a VR tour of that site, that archaeological site, which people normally can't go to, and now they can experience it at home with their, phones in like a special cardboard little box that they can put on their head. In fact, I've actually been helping in a project. I've joined a project that is going to Armenia. It's an archaeological project where they actually dig in Armenia. They dig about ancient artifacts and that kind of stuff. And I'm joined to the project that actually does some technology part about it. So they use, for example, machine learning with satellite imagery as well as with LiDAR technology to find ancient ruins that they couldn't spot from the ground up, as well as using 3D scanning or photogrammetry to actually get those actual pieces of pottery together, and they can use computer program to kind of piece it back together without having to do it manually. So I think that's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to learning more about that kind of stuff and helping them with my expertise and with my experiences at least to kind of from an interdisciplinary point of view try and help out from an arts as well as from a technology point of view how you can actually discover more about our culture.
Oh, that's great. I think thank you for introducing us to another side of application of the new technology. Now, of course, I mentioned earlier, Damien is in the first cohort of one of our data kind of related program. So maybe I also don't know whether Tingting can also I suppose you have worked closely with our first cohort student in the program. So any interesting thing I mean you can tell us about our student, our first cohort of student?
Sure. So we just got our first cohort students into our marketing analytics and technology program, and I met them quite often. So I found that first of all, I thought that it's going to be challenging for them because they're taking different courses from different schools, but they actually found it interesting because they're gaining the knowledge that used to be out of their reach. Now, all of a sudden, all those doors are open. And on the top of that, they're meeting people in engineering and computer science, which provides them with different angles to look at the same data set. So when they also, come back to the business school to take the business class, right, like Economics 101, their perspective will change as well. Because, unlike the other students who only take business school classes, right, their ways of tackle the problem will be different with the assistance of the data and algorithm they've learned from the other area. So they pretty much enjoy the first year experience here. So we have, we believe that more and more students with the talents will join us and enjoy this journey.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sure the first year student, they'll be really pampered by our teachers and getting a lot of support. But I'm sure we'll continue to provide support to all our programs as well. Yeah, maybe I want to change the topic slightly because I want to think about from our student perspective, what are the things that they probably a little bit more concerned about, right? So a lot of students will say, well, what about the career prospect, career path of I mean, if I finish program like this, what kind of career prospect am I talking about? What kind of path can I choose? So can any of our guests maybe share your view with us, so that they feel more comfortable. If they enter a program, they know there will be a bright future for them.
Let me do this first.
Okay.
I think definitely we are seeing a really good prospect for data industry, I would say. Within there, I would say just very broadly, I can put it into 3 categories. We've got data analysts, we've got data scientists, and data engineering. So I think 3 of those are now still just like what you said, booming stage. That a lot of demands are needed in basically any industry. Just now I also mentioned about the digital transformation. So that means many different kind of companies, no matter it's like traditional or tech companies, basically all of them would need different growth in terms of how they use data. So that also means that they need a lot of human resources. Not just building up the core data team is basically the first step, but different teams and departments, they also need a lot of analysts to support the analysis that they have within the teams. So in short, I would say definitely we do see that it's booming. Just take Foodpanda as an example. I've been there for 2 years. We start from 3 or 4 analysts. Now we got 15, 16. So in 2 years' time. And we still keep on hiring. So that's actually kind of indirectly show that how much we actually need throughout different industry.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the demand would just continue to grow because you have industries in the past who weren't very digitally savvy, transforming was previously mentioned. And I think the program is extremely useful because some of the courses are between business and technology. And what you realize is that even if you have data analysts, you have data engineers, data scientists, sometimes they might not understand the business side of things. And then what is the use case? You can have a lot of great data scientists, but when you don't have a business person to tell them what the use case is, essentially at the end of the day, it's kind of futile. So I think it's very important. And I think that for a lot of cases, the use case is very important, and having that knowledge and application and knowing what management is trying to work with that on the business side is actually quite missing in the market, I would say, because it's very simple to say, I want a data analyst, I want a data scientist, but what's in between? What is the bridge between that? I think there is still room in general in the market.
Wow, that seems like for different kind of student with different kind of technical background or non-technical background, I suppose the industry will be able to find a career path for them, right? Yeah. Well, of course, I think now that we have addressed the career prospect and career path aspect, I want to get back to Damien because earlier, even though he seems very excited about the program, he's learning different courses, and I'm sure a lot of students maybe in the art stream, right? Because usually the stream, the art stream tends to be preferred program offered by a faculty of arts, right? So they may be asking, why would I want to join a program like this, right? Instead of a more traditional arts program. So what particular aspect of this program really attracts you to be so courageous to actually jump into taking this program?
Yeah, so I do actually have a few classmates who are a little bit concerned about the statistics part or the comp sci part of that degree that I'm doing. But I personally believe that the school doesn't necessarily throw you in the deep end. They don't expect you to do really intense data science stuff right off the bat. For example, the course that I'm doing, the statistics course, we are learning a very basic Python first, and then we're branching into statistics. And some art students might think, oh, what does this have to do with me? So this type of computer science kind of data management kind of style, I feel it's actually quite useful for even everybody in general, as a student. If you've used Notion before, it's plain text, you type stuff in, you can organize your stuff. But that can also be used for data itself. For example, you can figure out which courses you have to do more readings on. It will automatically send you a reminder. Now, that kind of stuff is computer stuff. But from an arts point of view, if you have background, just a little bit of background in this, you don't need to be a full computer science engineer or something like that. But to have at least a brief knowledge of everything helps make you more well-rounded. And it kind of gives you a taste of different types of stuff. So you can, if you're really interested in, for example, one part of the digital technology point of view from my degree at least, you don't necessarily have to do it just full time. And it gives you that an idea, a starting point where you can start to branch off into that can help you in your main arts degree, for example. What I talked about, the archaeology stuff. You might say, oh, I just really love archaeology. I don't want to do any math. I don't want to do any data. But then you start to realize that with digital technology, it starts to make your life really easy. You don't have to spend like a whole day drawing out the grounds, the plans for everything. Just use the little 3D scanner and everything. Use the GPS, or not really GPS, but using GPS technology similar to that. You can create the whole environment within like a couple of hours, rather than spending every time, drawing in a notebook, having to scan it afterwards. And it just helps make your life really easy in general. And it helps provide you more chance to, innovate and to explore more and focus on the actual exploration part instead of just the, hard, repetitive tasks.
Wow, that's very well said. I'm sure like our students like kind of listening to that and saying, well, this is really like a very new idea. Like, I mean, there are how we can even integrate like technology and what we call big data, all these things, which from their perspective maybe it's very remote. But now you kind of bring it like very close to them. Very good, very good. Now, maybe I also think of like another thing. Some of our students may be thinking, okay, now you get my attention. I'm interested like in exploring this type of program. But like, what do I have to do? Like, I mean, so throughout the program, do I need to look for something? Do I need to equip myself with a specific thing so that I can be successful? I mean, at the end, they want to be successful in doing this. They want to be successful in their career, in their jobs, right? So from your perspective, like from your experience as well, is there any specific things that they must have? And then what are some of the things that it's good to have, right?
Well, it's a big question. Let me think. I think must have, technically speaking, definitely you need to equip yourself with, like, say, SQL, Python. Great if you know a little bit JavaScript to be a good analyst or a scientist. But then I think just now we did also discuss a little bit. Please don't just emphasize those hard skills. Definitely we need business sense. Definitely we need presentation, communication, and data visualization skills. So I think it's like kind of a balance that you need both of them. And just now we also discussed a bit on what kind of direction they can go. And I can say that there are really different paths that you can go for different teams and departments. We also need data analytics over there. So yeah, that's my take.
My take is that obviously those skills are very important. It's also applying the skills as well. What I mean here is a lot of people take courses, let's say in JavaScript, or take courses in Python. But in reality, what you really need to do is actually apply it in real life, where you use it and build something yourself, right? So for example, on the data side, maybe you can try Kaggle. And another way, it's more of a soft skill kind, not soft skill, but more of a human kind of perspective is reach out to people who are in the industry, really get to understand, what it's like being in that industry, and understand that, because it can be so broad, right? Then you understand, for different type of industry, what kind of skill set do you need for that, and really learn about, whether you like it first, and then double down or invest more into learning a bit more, applying more, and then teaching yourself when you have time. So I think it's about attitude as well. So you need to have a lot of patience when it comes down to data. So that's my perspective.
Yeah. Tingting, you have anything to add?
Yeah, so from the program's perspective, I totally agree with what you just said. I think what the students must have is actually having an open mind, and also have a logic. So, using the logic and then looking at every business, right? You try to understand why it works, how it works. I mean, it's more important than those numbers, right? Without any kind of basic knowledge about business, the numbers are just numbers. They're not telling any insights. And the numbers and the algorithm is just like the tool, the most advanced tool that you use to dig into and then to try to find the insights and the solutions. So you don't have to be a math genius, right, to be, as a data analytics. What you need is to have an open mind, and then also try to, get your hands dirty, right, on data, on the algorithm, and then also looking at those business problems, with a fresh eye. try to solve the problems. At the end of the day, those big data are coming from consumers. So you're not talking to the data, you are talking to your consumers, to the human beings, from the data.
Wow, those are very good advice. I can see like Damien keep knocking his head. I hope you also learn a lot like from the advice as well, right?
I would also like to add about the attitude. I think students should also, it's good to have actual skills and the knowledge behind it, but I think a very important thing is like how your attitude is towards new stuff. Because I think this branch of, it's very new, basically. The stuff you're learning here and the way you're combining it together, it's a very new way. It's not really been tried and tested for like many, many years already. It's still learning, it's growing, it's developing as we speak. So I think something that students should have is like we said, open mind and to be willing to explore and just to learn new things. Because one of the things is you can be a really good business person but have no idea about technology. You can be a really good technology person but have no idea about the actual logic, as you said, behind that kind of stuff. But putting it together in new ways. Because, for example, like archaeology, going back to that example, a couple years ago, like 10 years ago, there wasn't as much technology as there is now. So you have to keep learning and keep being on your feet, looking at new technologies come up. Just like, look at magazines and stuff like that. If there's something new that's coming up and you're thinking, oh, this is really interesting, like, VR, metaverse, that kind of stuff like that, that is a completely new opportunity that has just shown up like less than a year ago in terms of like being realistic. So you have to constantly be willing to learn and be willing to, explore new things that you might think is a little bit weird, but then eventually it could just become the norm in the future. So it's really important in my book to kind of like, really be willing to explore and to just, accept that things are going to change and you better change with them and learn early.
Wow, those are actually also like very good advice. When I look at the clock, like the time really flies. I'm sure like we can spend like all night here talking. I'm sure there are a lot more like to discuss, but I understand like in our program we have allocated about 30 minutes for this discussion, so we are coming to an end. But before I close, like I just want to see if any of our guests have any final advice for our students or any final things you want to say to our audience.
Well, I just want to say that like potential students are really lucky to have this opportunity to take on this program, just because I feel like during my year as a student I never got this opportunity. So yeah, really take this advantage.
Can't agree more. Yeah, really lucky that we have all sorts of like new programs out there, and lucky for us as well. Now we have those degrees like couple, 3-4 years later. We could have more fresh blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. We'll definitely send our graduate to you.
No, for sure,
Okay,
yeah.
so good. Thank you very much. Like I think we really appreciate like the sharing by Andrew, Jessica, Tingting, and also Damien. And I'm sure like all of you have learned a lot about different applications of like big data, data analytics. And also, like, there are a lot of opportunity in the digital like economy. And again, like they all kind of already tell us, like those of you who worry about like career prospect, worry about career path, those are huge opportunity in the market, right? In fact, that's the future. If you miss that, like you're going to regret it later on, right? So thank you very much again for this sharing with us. Now, before I kind of like say goodbye to all of you, I just want to remind our audience, even though tonight our focus of our discussion has been on this data-related like program. But don't forget, like Hong Kong, you actually have a lot more program for you to choose. If you're not interested in that, certainly like you can also look into other program that as interesting and also have very good like career prospect as well. Okay, so let's give a big hand to thanks all our guests today. Thank you.
Thank you again, and we sure have learned quite a lot, and I'm sure we need some time to actually take all that in. Before we transition to the admissions information and update from the university, we would like to share a very quick video about the HKU data program. We'll be back, and please stay tuned.
Big data. It's the now and also the future of yours and ours. Nowadays, what we need is usually just one click away with a mobile phone or computer. Data analysis is widely utilized in different industries, The collection, analysis and application of big data has become an essential skill for the next generation. HKU's brand new big data-oriented programs. The programs are designed to keep up with global trends to nurture big data professionals. Nurturing talents with capabilities and passion for data science. To excel in the era of big data.
Big data can be used in different areas, such as analyzing road traffic situations, understanding the effects of vaccines and medicines for COVID-19 or other diseases.
The program is a combination of courses in data science, computing, mathematics, statistics, and law to equip students with solid foundation and practical skills. Graduates may pursue exciting career choices from the fastest growing job positions.
Big data and technology has brought upon new business models and transformed traditional businesses.
Graduates from the program will be well prepared with profound knowledge to perform big data analysis on consumer behavior and preference, quality control of products and services. They will also be able to formulate innovative business strategies and new development opportunities for different enterprises.
Digital technologies refers to the whole interface between humans and technology. This includes specific applications and tools that use machine learning, neural networks, and other forms of artificial intelligence, augmented and virtual reality, to expand our knowledge of humanities subjects.
The program is the first of its kind in Asia. Due to the rapid development of the global economy and innovation technology, it is crucial to nurture talents with interdisciplinary knowledge in humanities and digital technologies, as well as transferable skills to be regional and global leaders.
Human data is extremely complex. We now have the technology to capture this data, and bioinformatics is about turning this data into useful information to improve lives.
The program cultivates problem-oriented thinking, allows students to understand and analyze biological big data in order to cater for different biomedical needs. It deepens our understanding of cancer and congenital disorders of unknown causes, and helps devise specific disease treatment and prevention plans. This can lead to more and more medical breakthroughs. Big data is more important than ever as it advances trends in technology that open doors to a new approach to understanding the world and making decisions. Join HKU if you aspire to be an expert in big data.
So hello everyone. So welcome back to the second half of our admission talk. So allow me to introduce myself. I'm Edwin from the Hong Kong U Admission Office. So after hearing the fruitful sharing from our guests, which includes the representative from industry, our teachers and students from our big data oriented program in the first half of today's session. So I hope you have more eager to learn about how to join Hong Kong U and also what exactly the admission updates of Hong Kong U this year. So in this second half, I'll share with you some Hong Kong U admission updates and also some technical parts for JUPAS students. So for JUPAS students, so if you are non-JUPAS students, we have another link in other sessions. So make sure you are the JUPAS students in order to listen to the further part of today's session. And now, so I know some of you have already submitted a list of questions in the Q&A function of this webinar. So in the following 20 to 30 minutes, continue to submit your question you want to ask about Hong Kong U in different programs. So in the end of this session, in the Q&A part, I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. Okay, so during the video shown just now, we have seen the introduction of the series of big data program, which we launched last year, including in business field, we have the Bachelor of Science in Marketing Analytics and Technology, and also Bachelor of Business Administration in Business Analytics, which we call BBA, BA, and BSc MAT. And in other discipline, in engineering, we have Bachelor of Engineering in Data Science and Engineering, which we call BEng in DSNE, and also in other disciplines, such as in medical field and also in arts field. We have also Bachelor of Science in Bioinformatics, which has the JUPAS code JS6470, and also the BAHDT Bachelor of Arts in Humanities and Digital Technologies, respectively. Okay, so these programs, as you can see from the sharing of different guests, and also these programs are also from different faculties. It shows if you are interested in doing, developing your career in the big data, it's not necessary for you to be a very math guy and also a science guy. If you are arts students and also you have a business background, you are also welcome to join the big data era in the coming years, and also the trend and also the demand of the big data talents is, as mentioned in the first part, is likely to be very very big and very large, the demand. Okay. So in the beginning of the talk, so Professor Ying, our Director of Undergraduate Admissions, has briefly mentioned we will launch a first in Hong Kong and also first in Asia new Bachelor of Business Administration in Accounting Data Analytics in the next academic year, 2023. So we developed and launched this program mainly in response to new development and the needs of accounting profession. So as the main functions of accounting move from the traditional bookkeeping to compliances, and then to other value-added functions such as advisory services, the skill sets required in the industry have also changed drastically. Many of these new skills are closely linked to big data or maybe data science, data analytics, and also digital technologies. So therefore, our new program aims not to offer the students professional training in solely accounting, but also to equip them to be leaders in data analytics, digital economy, and also technology-driven accounting business areas. So the new BBA ADA program will be offered, as you can see from this screen, as an additional option together with the like a traditional BBA accounting and finance program, which we call normally we call ANF, JS6781. So these two programs will share the same JUPAS code, as I mentioned, 6781, and also the same admission scores, admission standards, and also requirements. So students, if you're admitted to this joint program, you will have two options. Either you can join the BBA ANF stream, and also you can also feel free to join the BBA ADA program. Okay, so how about the BBA, like the BBA program in the past? So in the coming year, we will take this BBA program used to be offered together with the BBA ANF program as a separate program and with a separate JUPAS code, which is JS6755. And this change will allow us to offer more dedicated and also customized academic and academic supports to students in this program. So as you can see from the screen, students, if you are admitted to BBA program, you will have different choices of majors and minors including one including one of the 5 areas on the screen. So first, you can have chance to choose the EDI major, which we call entrepreneurship, design and innovation, finance, HR management, and also information systems and analytics, and also marketing. So you choose one of the discipline on the screen as your major. And at the same time, of course, as a BBA student, you can also choose elective from different faculties in the Hong Kong U, such as maybe Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Science, Faculty of Engineering, etc. So studying in Hong Kong U is very flexible, and you'll always find a way to customize your path and customize your 4 years of your university life. Okay, so despite all the challenges we have faced during the last couple of years, Hong Kong U remains like the university of choice among students in Hong Kong. So it can be reflected on the screen. And in the past 3 years, we have been the highest, the best 5 average score among the university in the Hong Kong. So, and we have showed a trend of getting a higher and higher best 5 score across the past 3 years. So apart from the admission scores, Hong Kong U is also ranking 21st in the world and first in Hong Kong in the QS ranking latest 2023, and also the first in the first in the world most international university ranking last year by the THE Times Higher Education. So in the latest global ranking by THE, our medical schools had, as you can see from the screen, has attained a historic 13th place in the ranking, up from 20th last year. And also our law school and also our Faculty of Education has also a very high ranking among different good universities in the world. So these rankings shows we have like exceptional qualities of teachings and also research performance that are well recognized in the national area. So apart from the academic performance and also the programs updates, so Hong Kong U is also supporting students. Apart from the academic side, we also support students who have exceptional talents in the non-academic side. So one of the admission schemes is called SINDIS. Full name is School Nomination Direct Admission Scheme. So last year we have 30 programs joining this scheme, and for this year we have 9 more programs joining the SINDIS, which we will not consider a student's HKDSE result. Instead, we will focus on his or her talents in different fields, such as if you have exceptional talents in science creation, cultural activities, music, leadership, and also social service. So we'll all count into our consideration. And for this year, we, as I've mentioned, we have 9 more programs joining the SINDIS scheme, including MBBS. Normally we call MBBS, the full name is Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Bachelor of Chinese Medicine, and also one of the big data program which mentioned in previously in this session, Bachelor of Engineering in Data Science and Engineering, as well as the BBA Marketing Analytics and Technology. Okay, so apart from SINDIS, last year we have also launched another admission scheme, which we call Top Athletes Direct Admission Scheme, in short, TADIS. So the aim of this TADIS scheme is to attract different top athletes from different aspects, such as for last year, for instance, we have admitted 8 top athletes from tennis, fencing, alpine skiing, etc. So these top athletes have very exceptional sport talents in and joining different regional sports events or even at Olympics. So, for example, we have admitted Coleman Wong, which is the 2-time Grand Slam title winner in the tennis field, and also we have fencing team members, Nicholas, and also Lawrence, and also Adrian Young, and also a very good representative of Hong Kong, which represent Hong Kong in the alpine skiing in the past Winter Olympics. So the aim of this scheme is already will continue this year, and the application has already opened on our website. So if you're interested and you have exceptional talents and good in certain sports, feel free to visit our website to view more details. Okay, so for the next year, Hong Kong, you will continue to have the flexible arrangement on JUPAS admissions. So this flexible arrangement allows the HKDSE who perform like below par in one subjects. In this case, these students will still have opportunities to choose Hong Kong U and even admitted to Hong Kong U. So currently students, as you can see from the screen, HKDSE has who wish to enter Hong Kong U with their JUPAS result must meet the requirements shown in the screen, which we can see English language level 3, Chinese level 3, and also level 2 in math, compulsory, and also liberal studies. At the same time, we are requiring students to get level 3 in 2 electives. One of them can be M1 or M2, or even category C subjects. So under the new flexible arrangement, candidates who fail to achieve level 3 in either Chinese, English, or 2 elective subjects, we still have a chance to enter Hong Kong U. So if they achieve good grades in other subjects, for example, if unfortunately you get a 2 in Chinese, but you have exceptional result in other electives such as physics, chemistry, biology, you got 5-star, multiple 5-star stars in your other subjects, you but attain a score not lower than level 2 in the subject you underperform. So you can also use your HKDSE score calculated with different program scoring formula with a deduction of 10%. If your total score also meets the expected score or maybe some score reference such as low quartile of a certain program, so we still welcome you to choose this program as one of your choice, because your score is still higher than many of the applicants. So don't give up, and also you will have the chance to get admitted. Given that you must need to fulfill the program entrance requirement, if there is any for the program you're interested, and also you are required to put that program in one of your Bennett choices. At the same time, you will be required to attend a program interview and pass the interview in order to be considered. Okay, so just like every year, Hong Kong U continue to provide scholarship to support outstanding students. So in the past couple of years, we have a HKDSE top 1% scholarship to reward students who have achieved top 1% among the HKDSE candidates. And if they get admitted into any Hong Kong U program, he or she will get a one-off amount at least 50K HK dollars and to be awarded to each student. So for this coming year, we'll continue to do the same practice to reward students who not only interested in traditional high grade or high score programs such as medicine or law. If you are interested in like arts or science or business with exceptional good result in HKDSE, you are more than welcome to choose Hong Kong U, and you'll be still rewarded with this HKDSE top 1% scholarship. So other than this top 1% scholarship, of course, many of our Hong Kong U faculties are offering entrance scholarship and also scholarship which considers no matter academic and also not academic achievement of a student. So if you are admitted to the University of Hong Kong, so feel free to like visit like the scholarship office and also different scholarship website to search for other opportunities that can support you in your, for example, for overseas exchange, we have scholarship, and also we have also scholarship that rewards students with exceptional good social services experience, etc. So stay tuned, and also look forward to see you in HKU and search for more these opportunities. So other than scholarship support, there are also some projects going on right now in our campus, including our TED landmark. As you can see, this is like a concept photo of the TED landmark building, but we are already working on the construction. So likely in the coming 2 to 3 years, we'll see a very nice building in our Hong Kong U main campus, which facilitates and promotes interdisciplinary research in science and also engineering. And it aimed to be completed in the mid 2024. And at the same time, we also have a three-phase smart and sustainable campus complex at the Portview Road. So it's a bit next to the Hong Kong U Centennial campus, but less than 10-minute walk. So now they are also working on the construction with the first phase, and likely to become completed at the end of next year, 2023. And this new complex will be the new campus of Hong Kong U Business School. So if you are interested in Hong Kong U Business or simply business discipline, so you can look forward to have your lesson or maybe have different activities or discussion with your friends in this new complex. So for other students, we are also pleased to let you know we'll have 3 more sites for student residence or hall by the end of this year, and also June 2023 and the following year, 2024, respectively. So they are scattered around Kennedy Town and also near Hong Kong U. So aiming to provide more residence and more place for our students to live in a hall or live in a residential college. So stay tuned to our development, to this exciting development. So I think that's the end of today's JUPAS admission talk, the English part. So now we are moving forward to the Q&A session. I know some of you have already submitted some questions on the webinar. So feel free if you have any questions related to JUPAS admissions and also different programs that I mentioned, feel free to show here. So allow me to spend some time to look at the questions. So first question, so do we still have expected scores, and when will the expected score be released? Okay, so this students has already seen our website for the past few years, and across the past few years, we have a document called the expected score, which we wish to provide reference for, like mainly S6 students to estimate which they can admit to Hong Kong U or admit to a certain program. And yes, for this year, we will still release the expected score near the release of HKDSE result, which will be around June 2023. So stay tuned to our website and also social media. And for the coming information day, we will also select, publish a document which we call the admission score, the real admission score of this academic batch of students. So if you wish to know what is the median and lower quartile or upper quartile of a certain program, say for instance, Bachelor of Science, what is exactly the lower quartile of this program last year, feel free to come to our campus after 2 days on this Saturday to get the brochure and to get the scores. Okay, next question. So are there any special admission scheme for other talents in coming 2023? So yes, as I've mentioned, we have Hong Kong U is continuing to support SINDUS, which is the school nomination direct admission scheme. So this year we'll have 39 programs out of 49 programs offering in the undergraduate study. So most of the Hong Kong U undergrad program is joining this Cinder scheme, and we support students with non-academic achievement. So please stay tuned to our website as well. And I think now you will be able to search for the Cinders program on the EDU website as well as our website as well. So you can view on the website for more information. So next question, we have students providing a scenario saying, I study biology and English literature, and I'm interested in dentistry, BDS. So can I apply for this program? So, so sure. So you only need one science elective to apply for dentistry. So other students, however, are reminded for the starting from 2024 admission year, dentistry will require either biology and also chemistry, but not physics in the JUPAS admission. So so please pay attention to this one. Only biology and chemistry for starting from 2024, but for this year, you can also apply with physics as your DSE elective. Okay. So next question, do I need to apply for JUPAS scholarship separately? So the answer is no, because if you have a good result and your result already fulfill the requirement of getting an entrance scholarship, you'll be automatically considered and no separate application will be required. Okay. So next question, we have a lot of questions. Okay. So concerning the program choice, should I look at the median or lower quartile of the scores announced in the admission score reference? So I think if you're looking at the median and lower quartile scores of different Hong Kong U programs, the first thing you need to know is first, you will need to put the programs that you are most interested in Band A first. And for Band A1 to A3, institution like the university cannot see the exact order. The only person who can see the order is yourself, the account owner of your JUPAS program. So what we suggest is to put the most like interested program that you want to join in Band A1, and at the same time, this program needs to fulfill at least meet the expected score, or for instance, I think lower quartile can be a reference, but I think the JUPAS expected score, which we are launching in June, will be even more accurate information and reference for you to estimate your chance of not the chance of being admitted, but at least the chance of being considered for a certain program. Okay, so also the same answer. Look at the expected score of a certain program. So I know some of the audience who are watching this live session, maybe you are one of the NCS students, non-Chinese speaking students, and in the past, many NCS students and the teachers asked us about the GCSE Chinese conversion in the JUPAS admission, or maybe the score calculation. So if you are eligible NCS candidate in JUPAS, say for instance, if you get a GCSE grade 8 to 9, your score, or maybe IGCSE A star, so these scores or grade will be converted into 7 points, and these 7 points will be eligible for you to substitute into the different program scoring formula as part of the score calculation in all programs, so no exception. So we welcome NCN students to apply for Hong Kong U. So again, if you got grade 8 to 9 in GCSE or IGCSE A star, your grade will be converted into 7 points. Okay, so I'll make it clear. So for next question, for flexible arrangement, will I still be considered if below admission score after discount by 10%? So as mentioned, if you are like the answer is yes. So you'll still be considered on a case-by-case basis. But if you're really, really interested in that program, in this scenario, you must put in A1 to maximize of the chance of being admitted. Okay. Okay, so more questions. In what field we can go or join if we are good in BAFS? So this question is very open-ended, I would say. So out of the 49 undergraduate programs in Hong Kong, like 25 of them, over half of them, have no specific program entrance requirement, in the other words, you do not have to choose that program according to your HKDSE elective. So if you are good in BAFS, you can choose to be an art student, joining Bachelor of Arts, or maybe joining Bachelor of Social Sciences, Architecture, and also some business programs. So for the next admission cycle, like 2023 admissions cycle onwards, the MAT program, which is one of the big data program, marketing, analytics, and technology, has included BAFS as one of the required subjects. So please pay attention to this special requirement. Okay, so next question. May I ask, what are the minimum entrance requirements for science master class for sure entry? So as I've mentioned, there is no guarantee of admissions, but you may refer to our expected score to be released in June. And also, if you really wish to like maximize your chance to be admitted, make sure other than the academic performance, you also need to pay attention to the interview performance, and do not like skip the interview, and also spend more efforts in preparing for the interview. So I think that helps you in maximize your chance of being admitted. Okay, so next question. So what is the minimum score for B-Nurse, ALT, and MBBS for 2022 JUPAS admissions? So lower quartile for the B-Nurse ALT is 36 points, and for MBBS is best 642. And for other programs, so again, we are highly encourage you to visit our information day on this Saturday to get a brochure which includes all the program scores of all Hong Kong U programs. So I won't answer the admission score of different program one by one in this Q&A function, Q&A session. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of questions. Okay, so for the Hong Kong LLB programs, it will be counted as best 5 or best 6. So the as I mentioned, different Hong Kong U programs now is no longer the calculation method is not simple as before, because we are trying to be more transparent and showing different factors of consideration, including the subject weightings in different program scoring formulas. So for LLB, the formula will be English plus best 5 subjects. But for instance, for different programs like business program, the scoring formula will be a bit more complicated. Some of them, like MBBS, it will be best 6. So it all depends on the program scoring formula. And please do not compare the final scores that you calculated across the program, because these scores are calculated based on different formulas. So it's not comparable. So you need to know about this one. So next question, how to count the marks for citizenship and social development subject in 2024 DSE? That's a good question. So will it affect the counting of best 6 and best 5 is 2024? So I think on our website, we have already released a consideration of the citizenship and social development subject starting from 2024. So CS and this C and SD subject will not be counted as part of the program score, but students are required to meet to get attained in the subject for the UER. So for this year, the scoring formula are still considering liberal studies as one of the factors, but for the coming year, you may need to pay attention to some changes on particular scoring formula, but this information will be released at a later stage. Okay, so next question, any updates on 224 JUPAS entry requirements? Okay, same question. So as I've mentioned, so the majority of the program will maintain their scoring formula, but again, some of the programs will change their scoring formula. So pay attention to the latest information announced by our Hong Kong Admission Office. And you are also welcome to visit our information booth on Information Day to ask for more information and accurate information. Okay, so I think task is running up. I will answer a few more questions, and this marks the end of today's JUPAS admission talk. So second last question, okay. So when will the program's interview usually starts on? Okay, so this question is also very open-ended. Some programs do not have any interview in the programs. So some program will arrange interview in early in December or January, but majority of the program with interview, they will hold their interview in June or July, before or after the release of DSE result. It depends on whether you have put that program in your Band A. So like for your information, if you have put that program in Band A, very likely you'll be invited to the program interview before the release of DSE result. But if you have put that program in Band A after the release of DSE result, so you are likely to be invited to that program after the release of DSE result. So it depends on the moment that you put that program in Band A. So if you wish to be invited to a program interview, so again, allow me to remind you, please put that program in one of your Band A JUPAS choices. Okay, so last questions. Is it possible to use a mix of qualification to apply for HKU, such as mixing HKDSE result with AP result? Okay, so the answer is no. Students, if you are applying via JUPAS route, so you must be a local student with purely HKDSE result, so you can't mix the different qualifications result to apply Hong Kong U. So if you are applying using IB or other qualifications, you will need to apply via non-JUPAS stream. Okay, so I know time is running out, so and we still got a lot of questions. So if you are sorry that I can't answer all the questions today, but if you have any other questions related to like student life or maybe JUPAS admissions, non-JUPAS admissions, feel free to visit our Hong Kong Information Day. We will have different information booth and also the different staff and also our student ambassador who are willing to see you and meet you to answer questions. And also, we are also arranging a JUPAS consultation session throughout the day at one of the classrooms. So when you arrive at the campus, so make sure you look at our map signage, locate where is the JUPAS consultation session if you really wish to ask us more questions. So I think that's the end of today's session. Thank you for staying for so long to attend this talk, and we'll see you at our Hong Kong U campus on this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you still haven't registered, so please scan the QR code on this screen and to register, and with the QR code that we will be sending you, you'll get a souvenir at one of our information booth and also at our one other venue that you will know when you arrive at Hong Kong U on Saturday. So thank you for joining and see you on Saturday. Bye-bye.